1. A kind-hearted girl in a humble village lived a young girl named Ella. She had a heart full of kindness and a gentle spirit. Ella's mother had passed away when she was very young, leaving her in the care of her stepmother and stepsisters. Unfortunately, they were not as kind-hearted as Ella. They treated her like a servant, giving her endless chores to do every day. Chapter 2. A friend in the animals. Despite her difficult circumstances, Ella remained resilient and wore a smile on her face. She found solace in the company of the animals in the village. Birds would perch on her shoulder, and rabbits would hop around her as she worked. They brought her comfort and became her only friends. Chapter 3. The royal ball announcement. One day, a grand announcement echoed throughout the kingdom. The prince was hosting a royal ball, and every maiden in the land was invited. Ella's stepsisters were ecstatic about the news and immediately started preparing for the ball. They talked about the beautiful gowns they would wear and the attention they would receive. Chapter 4. A magical encounter. As Ella swept the floor, a tiny, magical creature named Pixie appeared before her. With a sprinkle of fairy dust, Pixie transformed Ella's rags into a stunning gown. Ella gasped in awe at the sight of herself in the mirror. Her rags had turned into a magnificent dress fit for a princess. Chapter 5. Glass slippers. Not only did Pixie transform Ella's dress, but she also turned her worn-out shoes into sparkling glass slippers. Ella couldn't believe her eyes. She was overwhelmed with gratitude for Pixie's magical gift. She thanked Pixie and headed towards the grand ballroom, filled with excitement and hope. Chapter 6. A dance of enchantment. As Ella entered the ballroom, all eyes turned to her. The prince himself was captivated by her beauty and grace. He approached Ella and asked her for a dance. They twirled and swayed across the ballroom, lost in a magical harmony. Ella's heart fluttered with joy as she realized she had found a true connection with the prince. Chapter 7. Lost in the enchantment of the evening, Ella had forgotten about the magic's limited duration. As the clock struck midnight, she remembered Pixie's warning that the magic would only last until then. Ella knew she had to leave before her true identity was revealed. Chapter 8. Ella hastily excused herself from the prince's side, leaving him bewildered. She rushed through the palace corridors, fearing that if she stayed any longer, she would be discovered. As she fled, one of her glass slippers slipped off her foot. Chapter 9. The prince, determined to find that girl, initiated a search throughout the kingdom. He carried the glass slipper and visited every maiden, hoping to find the one whose foot would fit perfectly. But none succeeded. Chapter 10. Finally, the prince arrived at Ella's house. The slippers wouldn't fit their feet. Curiosity struck the prince as he asked if there were any other maidens in the house. Chapter 11. Ella's stepmother, realizing the truth, attempted to hide her. However, with the help of the village animals, who had witnessed Ella's kindness and bravery, the glass slipper was brought to her and she forgave her stepmother and stepsisters.